Once we go through this lecture of line out diagrams, you all will again realize how simple that is. But you all just have some sort of fear towards it, maybe because you all are not aware of what it requires. So like Vikram said, don't worry too much about this. There's not going to be much design change. Not, I mean, there's going to be very minimal design change. I mean, maybe one, two cases. You all will need to do one, two more drawings, which you all already have the base drawings for. And you know, you using the boundary tool in AutoCAD, it's even easier to do line out drawings. So it's nothing to be too concerned about. Yeah, that's all.
So, and one more thing, Shrey, I think it is about the allocation of time also. The studio time has 5 hours, 8 to almost 1. It is 12:30, so it's 4.5 hours. Uh, but apart from this, because at a time we'll be able to address one student, so there will be a group of students, so they can distribute how much time they are participating. Of course, they will keep your screens on, but they can simultaneously work during that time. It is a working studio. But apart from that, on Monday, which is there after their construction lecture and all, maybe they can take a break and all. They still have about 3 to 4 hours. So in a week, I think apart from this lecture, even if they spare about 3 to 4 hours, um, do you think this is that time is I mean enough, or how do you because their main concern is about they not having time for this subject. So I just want to address that very squarely.
In my opinion, Vikram, and the other faculty can correct me if I'm, but I think it's more than enough time for what is expected of them from the remaining portion of the studio.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, like you can ask Raj also, but when we have to like make line out diagrams and all, do the calculations in half an hour for a 20-story building, it has to be done. I'm not expecting that level of this because you know you all are learning for the first time. But if you all get 4 hours, that is enough time for a G+3 structure.
Okay. Because I just wanted that we are all on the same page as far as this is concerned, because this is something which need to be addressed right now. I also asked them if they can come up with some other idea, because this anyway is a university mandate, and they have to give the university jury. So if they want to pick up some other portfolio, yeah, according to us, this is the simplest portfolio that they can carry. Yeah. So I leave it at that. If there are still some questions from the students, please ask right now when all of us, all the faculty are there. Okay. Later on, we will not go back. We will not revisit this issue. Okay. Yeah. So we can start with the lecture. Shrey, Raj.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So guys, hi. Can you see the screen? Okay. So basically today what we are gonna do is we are making or we are composing the sheet to be submitted to the municipal corporation for the standard statutory approvals. Basically this sheet is comprising of all your floor plans from basement, ground, first to third, fourth, fifth floor, whatever they are. Uh, this sheet is basically these drawings are mainly for high-rise buildings. So you will have drawings for refuge area. You might have terraces in that, part terraces, sometimes pocket terraces. There'll be parking systems. This particular project has a parking system. So it is shown it in a different way. Uh, what we will start off with is this one is a location plan. This is the most important thing that we need in your diagram, in your sheets. A location plan indicating where your building is located in the entire layout. So, indicating nearby landmarks or main roads, name of the roads. Are there any other landmarks? Like we have one is an RG over here. This is my site, so I've written it as site under reference.
Guys, the scale is also 1 is to 2500, and as you can see, it is literally your plot car size with no structures given inside. There are no trees marked at this scale, nothing. So again, when you all also show it now, don't get too bogged down by showing in details of trees and some fire, some hydrant or some this. It is a very simple grid,
It has to
which
be
is,
clean. Yeah.
yeah, it has to be clean, it has to be clear, and this has been taken from the DP
DP.
map, so you all also can use the same. Sorry, and Raj, just one thing, guys. The most important thing in this, show north. Huh? One of,
Yeah.
I mean,
North
north is very
indication
important.
is important. Yeah. Then basically for us, we also have a block plan indicating what your plot shape is. Are there any setbacks within your plot? What are the open spaces, basic things, and what is your building comprising of? So I'll just start off with the basic thing, which is a ground floor plan. Okay. So this building comprises of what? Basic entrance lobby. Like if you see this dotted line here, okay, this is basically my plot boundary, this entire thing. This is my plot boundary. And this double line is my compound wall. So the plot boundary, compound wall is always shared with the other plot, with the adjoining plot on either sides. Only it is that in the front we have the compound wall within our plot boundary. So this plot is located in such a way that we have two roads, and there is a road widening on this side of the plot. Hence, there is a setback in this area. So there are two types of setbacks. One is a setback mainly for the road widening purpose, and one is a setback which you provide within your plot. So there is this one setback and there is this one setback, which is 3.18 right now seen over here, 1.5 meters on this side, 2.65 here. Not get confused with the setback as in just within the plot. So you can also term it as the setback as open spaces within your plot, and this becomes your road setback. Clear till this point, or you want me to speak more about it? Go ahead. Not go by with the kind of open spaces of 1.5 meter provided in the plot, because these are highly dense plots. Building open spaces are difficult. So now if you see these areas, this is the lift, there's a lift lobby, staircase. So this is how we indicate the staircase going up. This is going down to the basement. Okay, you have to dimension them, give dimension of 1.5, or so basically in your institutional buildings you will have a staircase of 2 meters, and a clear passage also have to be of 2 meters. Here on the ground level you just have your entrance lobby, lift lobby, this is your stilt, and what I have is a parking system over here. It's a puzzle parking system. Anything that is claimed free is hatched as this red. I'll just go to the main level residential floor plan. If you see in this case, this lobby portion is claimed free of FSI. So generally when we ask or when we claim the area which is in front of the staircase, okay, we always have one the door opening as 1.5 meters. Since we have a landing of 1.5 meter, we get a front open space of 1.5 meter is free of FSI. Okay. Rules have changed now and it has become 1.5 times the width of the passage. So your width of the passage, assume it is 2 meters, you will get it as 3 meters. You'll get the passage of 3 meters in front. Similarly for the lifts. So in this case, my entire passage is claimed free of FSI. Yeah. Guys, anything you want to say, just go ahead. Anything you want to ask. I don't want to rush into everything. So just let's take one thing at a
Yeah,
time.
guys. It's great that you all have, if you all are understanding this, but please jump in at any time because I know like to some of y'all this might make sense, but to a lot of y'all this will be alien Greek.
Can you just repeat the passage car thing? I didn't
I'll
get.
just, yeah, just a second. I'm trying to say is that this this landing is 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter. Okay. The staircase width is supposed to be 1.5 by whatever the length is. Okay. But at least this distance here, if you see here, it is 1.5 meters. So while claiming the passage in front of the door, this is an FRD. Okay. How much will I get? So basically at that time, I will get 1.5 times the width or the depth of the landing. So that comes to around 2.25. So 1.5 by 1.5 is 2.25. So I will get a passage equivalent to 2.25 times or 2.25 in front of this FRD. Although I have a wall here, so I can claim only up to this area as free.
Okay.
Clear with this?
Yes, got it.
What is an FRD?
FRD is a fire resistant door. So basically all staircases, all your main doors for your apartment, okay, will have a fire resistant door. Basically a fire resistant door for staircases is for up to 2 hours. Or what that means is that during fire, your door should resist the fire for up to 2 hours. Because during fires you cannot use a lift. You have to use a staircase. So just in case if there is a fire in the lobby area or in any part of it, the staircase is the only escape route. Okay, so during that time, what happens that the doors are shut. Okay, or let's say that you enter in and then you shut the door. So the fire, if there's a fire in this passage or somewhere, okay, it the FRD stops the fire to enter into the door for at least 2 hours. Similarly, the fire resistant door for the apartments also has a resistance till 1 hour for 1 hour. Now, similarly, while claiming the passage in front of the lift, so let's say this is my lift area that I'm claiming free, I will get the same thing that is 1.5 times the depth of the lift, that is 1.5 by 1.8 meters. So basically, this could be the lift area that I'm claiming free. However, there is an overlap, so that means that you are getting it free. Same way, when I'm claiming a lift at this point, I get this area as free. So likewise, my entire passage, the lift lobby passage is free. Clear in this?
Yes.
Okay.
So does this happen in all kind of buildings की the lift area and उसके आगे का थोड़ा area we get free and the same.
Yes, yes, in all type of buildings.
Yeah, okay.
So even in institutions, even in commercial buildings, even in industrial, they are free. Also, if you see, there are these ducts which are abutting to the toilet. Okay. These ducts are allowed only up to 1.2 meters from your toilets, and these are claimed as free of FSI. The rest, everything here in this is counted in FSI. All your columns, internal walls, everything. So just for one diagram, I'll show you. For flat number 602, we have the carpet area calculation. So you have your living room, you have your areas. Okay, this is how you calculate the carpet area for your flat or for any room or for the entire floor. So right now this is a residential building, so we have carpet area only for the flats. In case of an institutional building, you can have carpet area individually for your room, or you can have the carpet area for the entire floor also. Generally, in an institutional building, people may not require carpet area calculation as such. They'll need it for commercial, industrial, and residential buildings. I'll just keep the screen on so you all just can relate it to the plan and the calculation. Should I go ahead? Let me know.
The third column is the number of units, right? Multiplied by 111.
Yes. So basically, this is a factor. Okay. I'll just show you one more factor. Will be a little different from this. If you see this factor here, okay, here what I have is a duplex flat. The 14th floor. This portion, if you see, this portion is a double height space. Okay. Calculating while doing the area line diagrams, what I will do is that this is the number 3, which I said that this is a double height space. So while calculating the area line diagram for 15th floor, if you see this number 3 is 0.5 times. Basically, any double height space that you provide, which is let's say now beyond 4.2 meters, okay, is counted 1.5 times the area. So, so this portion here is basically counted 0.5 times extra than the entire floor because this is a double height space. A double height space in your living in your lobby area is not required to be counted, but within your habitable space, let's say within your office room or in your classroom, okay, a double height space will be counted 1.5 times. For
Uh,
example, let's say your area of a classroom is 10 square meters, but the height is more than 4.2 meters, say let's say 5 meters or so, or 4.5 meter, then that 10 square meters gets calculated as 15 square meters.
Okay, yes, understood.
So only the portion which is a double height space.
but why is it 0.5 times?
Because
Like,
one time it is already counted at this level. See this 14th floor diagram. Okay. this space, if you see this cross here, okay, and if you can relate it with this diagram, see this is your L1, this is my L1. This is my L1, okay, and this L1 is here. So the space, if you see the space behind your L1 is this. This portion is already counted once. Only the double height space, which is across here, is counted additionally 0.5 times. So that means this portion only is 1.5 times.
Okay.
So basically in the 14th floor, we calculated, we multiplied by 1 and then in the
One.
15th floor by 0.5.
Yes. So see this. I have there's no deduction in this point here because I'll explain you how to calculate the diagrams here. So likewise, you'll understand.
Okay.
With an area line diagram here. So can you see both the 10th and 13th floor plan and the area line diagram here? Okay. Now, while doing so, you have your plan ready. What I will always do is the maximum border, I will make a rectangle or a square or whatever the shape is. Okay. This becomes my so this here is my outer line for your building. Basically, that is see this 13.25, 13.25. This is 16.83. This is 16.83. So this is my outer boundary. My outer boundary has nothing to do with any kind of chacha projection or ducts. Okay. I need not include the ducts in my building line.
Similarly, when we have stairs on the ground floor for reaching up to the plinth level, do we need to calculate in the building line diagram?
Yes, staircase is a part of building line and that gets deducted at a later stage. But you have to consider that as a part of your building line.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at the area line diagram, you see, you can tell you this. You have to make sure that your building dimensions tally with the dimensions of your built-up area diagram. Okay. Now, when I'm making a table for calculation, you see that this entire rectangle, this thing is basically A. Okay, so what is A? A is 13.25 by 16.83. So this is my area of that particular floor of 223 square meter. Now when I'm deducting my not usable areas or areas which are claimed free, what I will do is I will start deducting the larger chunks. Like this thing is a void. Okay, I'm not using this. This in the blue line and between the red line, which is my building line. This is a void. This void is reflected as number 2 here. You see this 5.03. This is 5.03 here. This is basically, yeah. Got this till now, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So first, what we need to do is we need to just deduct the areas which are not a part of the building at all. Okay. That is between the red line and the blue line. I will deduct this portion as well. I will go and deduct this space from here. Are there any other voids which I need to deduct from this right now? Can you all tell me if there are any things? Or are we basically done with deducting the the voids between the blue and the red line? Guys, please speak.
The lift well ka area won't be deducted.
Which area?
The lift well.
It will get deducted, but I'm saying that this yellow portion marked are excluding the building line. Staircase is a part of building line still. Next thing what I will deduct from my building line is the staircase. Basically this entire chunk here. I'll make this as my staircase. Then this becomes my lobby in front of the staircase. This is one more rectangle and the balance one here. I'm just not able to draw it right now, but yeah, something like this. Portion here. Basically, this is how you start deducting the area. So whatever the area balance remaining becomes your built up area or the FSI area that is counted in your FSI. If you can relate this diagram to the one here, S is my first staircase that I marked here. Then the P1 is the passage in front of the staircase. Then I could have taken this all the way here. Okay, so this becomes my L and P together. Then there's this one is L1.
All these areas are including the internal walls, right?
Uh, yes. So if you see this, basically a shear wall is around, let's say 300 wall or maybe 230 thick. So what the BMC or the corporation allows is that you count only 0.15 in your area and another zero point 0.5 or 0.08, whatever the balance is, can be a part of your lift. Okay, I'll explain once again. I have a wall which is 300 thick, and that wall is an RCC wall, okay, which is a lift RCC shear wall. I will only count 150 wall towards my habitable area. Balance 150 will become part of the lift. In case if the wall is 230 thick, then I will count 150 towards my habitable area and 80 towards my lift. In cases of high-rise structure, which are let's say 120 meters, 180 meters, or anything above 70 meters, and at that time my shear wall, this wall is let's say 400 thick, then at that time I will consider 150 as a part of my habitable area and balance 200 or 250, whatever that is, will become a part of my lift area. Are we clear?
Can you
Basically,
just repeat
which one, which part?
the lift 150 mm?
Okay. basically this wall is say 300 thick. Okay, I will count this much portion, that is 150. I will count this portion, so extend it till here, this portion in my habitable area, because I have a apartment or a habitable room abutting to the left. If you see in this case, I do not have any habitable touching here. So I have considered this entire wall as a part of the lift. Whereas in this case, 150 is counted towards the habitable area and this 80 is towards the lift area. Clear on this?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Guys,
While,
sorry, Raj, just to add on to it, if
yeah,
some of you all might be wondering, ki, arey, such a small area, what difference does it make? Actually, see, this is one thing you will realize. So if we take that 1.8 meters into 0.15, that's 0.27 meters. Into how many stories? This is a 13-story building. Yeah, 13-story building. That's 3.5 square meters into 10 points. I'll tell you in that. So it comes to around 38 square feet you get. That's just on one side, and that's assuming now we do three. So you're basically getting around 120 square feet extra, which you can utilize in, you know, increasing the area of what you are building. Which is why these small numbers, when they are stacked one on top of the other, they multiply. And which is why it's important to do these calculations very carefully. Sorry, Raja, back to you.
yeah. So are we clear on this right now about the area line diagram?
Yes.
Okay. So once you have your area line diagram for all your floors, the next thing to do is to show your proposed built-up area diagram or rather statement from basement, ground, first, second, third, fourth, whatever the floors are. In my case, there is no FSI or FSI calculation on the basement floor or ground floor, nor on the parking level. So my FSI area is only from the fourth floor onwards. So what you will show is the area of the staircase and the area of your first floor, second floor, ground floor. You will have to make the area line diagrams and make a table similar to this. After doing this, you will have a total area which is being consumed in your building. This is your total built up area then. Are you clear with this table for total built up area?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Again, now when we are doing a plot area calculation, uh, generally what you do is while making a polyline, you can directly get the area of the plot. But you have to divide your plot into multiple triangles. Larger the better. Okay, larger the triangle, better it is. So by triangulation method, you have to calculate the plot area. If you see this, this plot is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Okay, and for that, the area is reflected or calculated here in the table. So there's a separate area line diagram for the plot and there's a separate area line diagram for the setback area. Do not get confused with the setback area with the open spaces that you have to provide within your plot. So this is basically a road setback area. So, and let's say in one of your cases where your road width is only 5 meters or 6 meters, and that road is supposed to be widened to maybe 12 meters. So you will have a setback of 3 meters within your plot, or depending on the remarks given by the development department. So in your sheet composition that you do, what you will have is your plot area diagram. You'll have the calculation for plot area diagram. You will have your block plan. You will have your ground floor plan, first floor plan, basement plan, all your floor plans. You will have the built up area diagrams, basically something like this. So you'll have your floor plan and you'll have your built up area diagram besides that, and you'll have your area calculation there itself. Okay. I cannot say that my floor plan is here, my built up area diagram is here, and my table is somewhere here. Okay, that is a very wrong way to do it. So, and what I will also have is the proposed built up area statement of all your floors. Also have a calculation of your carpet area of maybe just one floor is also fine. And here again, we have a complete set of pro forma A. This describes what the building is. Okay, what is the purpose? There's a particular file number also to it. These are the signature of the authority from municipal corporation. This is the owner. Okay, this is the detailed description of the proposal of the property. And this is a pro forma A. Basically, from where we get where we understand the FSI calculation as a gist. So first is we have your area of plot. This area of plot is defined in the property card. Sometimes the property card may not reflect the area accurately, so there are other extracts also to define. So there was a road setback in my lot, which was 55.31. My net lot comes to 380 square meter. Here I have an FSI of 3. So 3 FSI on a plot area of 435 square meter turns down to 1306 square meter. So you start filling up these details based on what your planning is, what your FSI is. And then here I have the permissible fungible built-up area and proposed fungible built-up area. So similarly, my total permissible area works out, and what I have proposed is also have to be mentioned. Basically, this is it about preparing a submission drawing for area line for the corporation. We also have a parking statement. Um, so this is just a format for a parking statement. You will have to follow as per the regulation, what the regulation permits for an institution building. This is a table. This is a table for residential. This is for commercial. So similarly, you'll have it for institutional buildings also. You can later on in the uh, next when we discuss about the sheets individually, we can discuss on the parking requirement as well. Are you guys cleared with this? Hello.
Guys, any questions? Because otherwise, you have, we'll move on to individual groups and we can start seeing your work. Oh, and again, just one thing to add. It's not like, that Raj has come up with this format or anything. This is a standard layout. If you go on the NCGM website and download any sheets which have, just kabhi drawings have been submitted, you will find a similar format of representing the building.
Yeah, the format is the same throughout. Maybe all architects have little different way of representing, so that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, thoda one two small changes will be, but overall, you will be able to read any municipality drawing uh, once you get to know this format. If you look at any random building also now, it will follow a similar this, where there's the proformas on the right side, and the information is also in a certain way. So it might be helpful for you all also to go online, just start seeing drawings which have been submitted in the municipality and studying those to get comfortable with the information shared.
Vikram, you wanna add anything to this now?
Yeah, just a minute. Actually, just Raj, it's very nice, very nicely presented, Um, this will be available for them for reference.
Yeah, I can share this.
Yeah. So that is one. Second, yesterday they were asking if they can see student work, but I discouraged that. I told them ki you should refer to
Yeah,
professional work rather than students' work for as
right,
reference.
right.
That was one. Second, this might be, if they go to the details and all, there is a lot to be learned and all. But at this stage, if we can spell out what is the bare minimum as far as their project is concerned that we expect, if that can be spelled out right away.
Yeah,
uh,
that's what I said. That what you basically need to have is you have your pro forma A. Okay. You can make points right away. What all do you need? Just make a note of it. So you have your pro forma A, you have your plot area diagram, you have your plot area calculation for that. Definitely no one has a setback in their plots apart from the open spaces. So that is not required. What you have is a location plan. You have a floor plan, your ground floor, first floor, second floor, basement, if any. What if you have a water tank in your basement, you do not show that as a separate diagram. So you have your floor plan, your built-up area diagram, and uska calculation, your built-up area state calculation for that particular floor. Also, you will have on any one floor you can have your carpet area calculations. And basically you will have your built-up area statement of all floors together. The area that you claim free, you can mark that as a red hatch like this. And and the last thing, you will need to also have your sections. Maybe two sections from the basement or ground to the topmost terrace, including your water tank, your staircase room above. Very clear?
I have a doubt. Uh,
Yeah.
what happens when there are semi-open spaces and courtyards in our buildings? How do we calculate?
It is case to case. Okay, but as a benefit of doubt, right now for you all, I guess we can keep the semi-open spaces courtyard as free of FSI. Anything that is buildable will get counted towards your FSI. Okay, but things which are open to sky or open grounds, that will not be counted. Guys, if you still have some confusion, please go ahead. Just speak. Just ask your questions, queries, or your doubts.
I think if you guys start with this sheet, and Raj, how many sheets does it amount to?
Maybe 2 sheets. If they can compose it within 2 sheets, also it's fine.
Correct. And for the
Max.
environment ministry, there will be a presentation format, right? Or we can convert
Yes.
that also into a sheet only.
No, as in we can convert. We can keep it as a presentation format.
Presentation. Yeah. So that would again be if there are 2 points, say water conservation and energy conservation, or water recycling and water harvesting, or the septic tank, or
Hmm.
ETP, not ETP, but STP, and how it is treated before being released into the canal. So at least two topics they can touch upon and they can present it. So some might present water and energy, some might present water and drainage.
Okay.
So any two topics if they can cover. Some might present terrace farm or food production and something
Right. Right.
else.
Right.
So if they can make a presentation how their building is accommodating all of that, that should be good enough. So this sheet
Yeah. Yeah.
will we'll be able to complete this area calculations and all in how much time, according to you guys? 2 weeks?
Yeah, outer limit 2 weeks, Vikram. Honestly, if see, depend on the project. If the project is simple or if the student has a decent grasp of it, in a week also it can be done
Correct. So,
because
but
all the base
maximum
drawings are
two
already there.
weeks, right?
Max 2 weeks.
Maximum 2 weeks. That is about 8 hours. 8 hours of the class and almost 9 hours in the class,
Yeah,
right? So 4.5, 4.5, right?
correct.
So, yeah. So I think we should be able to close this and we should be able to get this. Students, anyone, any doubt about what is expected out of this, and if please express yourself if there are still any some anticipations or worries or concerns.
So the deliverables include this municipal drawings and environment that presentation, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Two sheets of
both of these
municipal drawings.
things, do they form part of the municipal drawings, or
Sorry.
that presentation is a different thing?
That
No. So
presentation is different. It is not a part of principal drawing.
See, Ishan, your municipality drawings is what we are sharing on screen right now. This set of drawings will be submitted in physical format in the municipality. The presentation for environmental for the environmental department, that is a presentation that you have to give, show highlighting your projects, green initiatives, whatever they be. uh, that is not a submission that's given. That's usually a presentation, which is why we're sticking to a present. It can be a submission also, but it's usually a presentation also. But your municipality drawings is what Raj has shared today, a set of 2 or 3 pages which details all the information about your project as per the statutory guidelines.
So, to further elaborate that, many a times the departments, even municipal departments, if there is an environmental cell which has to be presented to, then they expect a presentation to be submitted. Okay, the print copy also of the submission presentation itself is submitted, within which the area calculations are also already embedded within those presentations. How we have arrived at and all that. Okay, and if they have any further concerns, they will expect the detailed drawings and all. But since you have already submitted the submission drawings, the building and the detail the drawings of how things are going to be laid out, that is already submitted. That is considered submitted. Yeah. So as far as you are concerned, this has two parts. One is these two sheets of area diagrams and submission drawings which you are having to the municipality. The second one is about the presentation that you will be making for the environmental cell. Yeah.
Vikram, I just have a suggestion. Guys, whoever is the CR of the class, if you all can get the copy of Cochin building guidelines, whatever the municipality of Cochin stipulates, and just share that in the class. I think that might be helpful.
I think they already were referring to the DCRs when they were designing the ADU
Okay. Then,
work and when they were doing.
then it's perfect. I did not know that. Okay.
Just somebody can please confirm this from the class. Hello.
Guys, can somebody please confirm this information? We all have access to the building guidelines, whoever
Yeah, we
designed the.
downloaded it a bit recently, but we didn't. At least I didn't use it for IDS last semester.
Yeah. Same.
Okay.
But you have access to it, right? It's available online.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, Shreyansh, I know they'll be available online. Just
yeah, it is.
make sure that you all share it as a class and now start, referring to that because if you all have to make any changes and stuff. Because what we shared today, what Raj and I spoke today, refers specifically to Bombay. FSI calculations in Mumbai are very different than what Cochin would have. And it's very different to what within Maharashtra also different districts have different calculations.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll share it with the
Yeah.
class. We'll have a.
If we are done, we'll take a. Are we done for over here? We'll take a 5 minutes break and then join in our respective groups. We'll join right over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 5 minutes break and then join. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.